Gemara, we start the Gemara on Daf Kuf Ches Amud Beis, Oma Mar Ukve. This Gemara is a continuation of what we learned yesterday, and it's talking about different things that a person does for healing, for refuah on Shabbos. There's the Gzeira of Chazal. You're not allowed to do anything for medicine purpose, medical and refuah on Shabbos. Gzeira Mishum Shchikas HaMamonim. You could come to grind herbs to make a medicine. Amar Ukva Amar Shmuel. Shayre Adam Kilurin Me Erev Shabbos. A person could prepare, he soaks and he prepares this paste that's used to place on the eyes before Shabbos. So it is a healing, but he prepares the Kilurin from Erev Shabbos and then V'noisen al gav eine b'Shabbos. Then he's allowed to place it on his eyes before Shabbos. So as Rashi says, because he prepared it before Shabbos, so that makes it a heker. It's clear that he's not going to prepare it on Shabbos. Not only that, Rashi says that this paste looks a little bit like wine, and it's just like a person putting some wine on his eyes, which the Gemara said before is allowed. It's not a problem. Bar Livoi Havakoi Kamei de Mar Ukve. This person, Bar Livoi, was standing in front of Mar Ukve. Chazye, he saw Mar Ukve, or Mar Ukve saw him. What does it say over there? One of the two. The have a mayit u pasach, huh?
Mar Ukve saw the Bar Livoi.
Okay, that's what I thought. So Mar Ukve saw Bar Livoi, the have a mayit u pasach, that he put this paste on his eye on Shabbos, and he was opening and closing his eyes to make sure that it enters into his eyes. It's the way it heals the eyes. Amalei, Mar Ukve told him, Kula hai vada lo shara. To this degree that you mamish putting it on your eye, opening and closing your eye like a drop that you want it to enter into your eye, to that extent it's not allowed. You can put it on your eye outside and that's it. Mar Shmuel shalach lei Rabbi Yanai le Mar Ukve. So Mar Shmuel sent Mar Shmuel shalach lei Rabbi Yanai le Mar Ukve. Mar Shmuel sent Rabbi Yanai to Mar Ukve to tell him as follows: Lishtelon Mar mehanach kilurin de Mar Shmuel. Send me from this kilurin, from this paste that's used for the eyes of Mar Shmuel. Shalach lei. So he sent back to him and he told him, Shadurim mishadarnalach. I'll be happy to send it to you. You shouldn't say that I'm stingy. Ella, but Hachiyama Shmuel. This is what Shmuel said. Shmuel, as we learned yesterday, was a doctor. So Shmuel said as follows: Teiva tipas tzayin and shachris. It's better than all this kilurin, this paste. It's better to have a drop of water in the morning that you put on your eyes or on your face. Rechitzas yadayim v'raglayim b'cham and arvin, and washing your hands and feet in the evening with warm water. Mikol kilurin sheba'olam, from any other paste that you would put on your eyes. So that's much better. Tanya nami yachiyam Rab Munna. Learned in the Brayis, Rab Munna said the same thing. Mishum Rab Yehuda. Toiva tipas tzainan shachris. A drop of water, cold water in the morning. Rechitzas yadayim v'raglayim arvis, and washing your hands and feet with warm water in the evening. Mikol kilurin sheba'olam. It's better than any other kilurin, any other paste that you put on your eyes. Hu haya omer. And he would also say, Rab Munna, would also say the following thing. Yad la'ayin. This is talking about a person that wakes up in the morning and he didn't wash his hands negelvasa yet. So he said, Yad la'ayin, a person that touches his eyes before he washes negelvasa tikatzets. Hand should be cut off. What it means is, it's an expression the Gemara uses that he shouldn't. Rashi says, if you look at the last Rashi on the page, tikatzets v'loitiga shuv ba'ayna b'ayz and kaidin netila. The Gemara is using this expression that this hand should not be touching his eyes before he washes his hands when he wakes up. Yad l'chaitim, your hands touching your nose, tikatzets. Cut off. Yad lepet, touching your mouth, tikatzitz. Yad leoizen, touching your ears before you wash negelvasa, tikatzitz. Yad lechasuda, tikatzitz. The chasuda is like when a person had to have blood taken from him, and there's a little puncture in his body, and he touches that area. Yad la'ama tikatzitz. A person touches the aver of the bris, should be cut off. Yad lepitabas. A person touches the rectum before negelvasa, tikatzitz. Yad legigis. A person that's touching a barrel of beer, tikatzitz. Yad mesame, the hand that you did not wash negelvasser, and you touch your eyes, it can cause blindness. Yad machreshes, that touch your ears, it can cause a person to become deaf. Yad Maila Polypus, and you touch your mouth, it causes polypus, which Rashi says is a bad odor from the mouth or from the nose. So therefore, this is all, by the way, because of a ruach ra, as the Gemara is going to bring soon. There's a shed or a ruach ra that's on a person's hands when he wakes up in the morning, and therefore you have to be. The Gemara uses here a very sharp term on this, tikotzitz. So you have to be very, very careful to wash negovasa before you touch anything. Yeah, this is also even for little children. The Alter Rebbe brings this in Shulchan Aruch as well. Tanya Rab Nassan Naime. Rab Nassan says, Bas Chayrin Hizu. This Ruach Ra, this Shin Dala that we're talking about, it's on a person's hands when he wakes up. It's like this free-ranging spirit that is it's very powerful. Umakpedes, and it's very insistent. It doesn't go away. Ache Yirchatz Yadav Gimel Pamim, until a person washes his hands in the morning 3 times. Omer Rabbi Yechanan said, Puch, this thing that's called Puch. Not sure what this puch is, mascara? It's some kind of a mascara, okay. Mavir Bas Melech, it removes this Ruach Ra, which is also called Bas Melech. This is just the name of this Ruach Ra. Upaisik Esadima, it stops tearing. Umarbe Seir Bafapayim, and it increases the hairs of a person in his eyelids. Tanya Nami Hachi, we'll learn the same thing in the Braisa. Rabbi Yosi Yoime, Puch Mavir Bas Melech, that Puch will remove this ruach ra that's called bas melech, paisik esadima, take away the tears, umar b'ser b'fapayim, and then increases the ears and the hairs in the eyelid. Va'amar mar ukve amar Shmuel. Another thing that Mar Ukve said in the name of Shmuel, alin ein ben mishum refuah. These leaves, certain kind of leaves that are, Rashi here says, kach shem ha'esev, it's a name of a grass. Ein ben mishum refuah. It doesn't have any medical purpose, and therefore you could use it on Shabbos. Amar Rav Yosef, kuzberte, ein ba mishum refuah. Kuzberte also has no medical. What is it called? Coriander has no benefit medically or for healing, so you can use it on Shabbos. Amar Rav Sheishes, kishus, ein ba mishum refuah. Hops have no healing purpose in them. Amar Rav Yosef said, kuzberte, this kuzberte, and Rav Yosef was blind. Right, so we're talking over here about using these things for healing for the eyes. So he said, this kuzberte afilu lididi, even for me that I was blind, kashali. It's not good for me. It's not only it doesn't have a healing, it actually is not good for me. Rav Sheishes said, gargira, which is also, Rashi brings over here the name of it. You have the English word? Rocket. Rocket. Anyone heard of rocket before? So gargira afil didi maili. Even for me, and Rav Sheishes was also blind. Even for me that I'm blind, it's beneficial for his eyes somehow. V'ama marukva mashmul kol mine kishus, all kinds of hops sharu are allowed lebar mitruza. Besides truza, what is truza? Some kind of I have no idea. Something that it's yeah.
Eat it. It's just that you eat.
Yeah.
They don't translate.
So the point of here is that all of the other kishus are allowed, because those are the things that a person is eating them on Shabbos, and it's regular foods. People eat them. So even if a person is doing it for the purpose of healing himself, it's not something that it's clear that he's doing it just for refuah. But truza is something that people don't usually eat. So if you're eating it on Shabbos, it's clear that you're doing it just for a medical purpose. And this is something that will be negayer in the Gemara. A person is allowed to eat things on Shabbos if he's doing it for healing. If people normally eat this, people eat chicken soup, people eat all kinds of things to heal themselves. But people normally eat it. If it's something that people don't normally eat and you eat it on Shabbos for the purpose to heal yourself, then it's not allowed. Amar Rav Chisda said, now according to Rashi's Pshat, this next piece of the Gemara is not related to the subject we're talking about, of a person healing himself. Shrike tavya. Tavya is a roast, and a person is pasting the roast. After you take the roast out of the oven and it cools off, so it gets a little bit, you want it to be moist, so you paste it sort of with some oil. So then, shari, so you're allowed to do this. And Rashi explains, the chiddush over here is, even though it looks like misakin, you're making it fit for eating, and it's like makeh bepatish, when you like that final blow to make it fit to eat, it's still allowed. Pipui bei, but to go and whisk the eggs, like when you want to make scrambled eggs, that's also, that's not allowed, because it looks like he's going to be cooking on Shabbos. The Bisu de Zeiri, the wife of Zeiri, of the Leila Chiyah bar Ashi, so she prepared for Chiyah bar Ashi, this that the Gemara is talking about over Shrika Tavya. She pasted the roast after it was taken out of the oven. And Rashi explains, we're talking about once the roast cooled off. If it's still very hot, so you add oil to it, so then it's your mavashal, it's bishul. But we're talking about it cooled off. So she did this, she prepared, the wife of Zeiri prepared this for Chiyah bar Ashi. V'lo he didn't want to eat it. Amralei, so she said to him, L'rabach, for your teacher, which was Zeiri, her husband, of delay, I prepared this v'achal, and he ate it. V'at le'achlis, and you don't eat it. So the Gemara explains, Zeiri l'taimei, Zeiri follows his opinion. The Amma Zeiri said, Noisen adam yayin salul umayim tzlulin l'toicha mashmeres. So here we're talking about the malacha of beirer. A person is allowed to place clear wine and clear water into a sifter b'Shabbos, on Shabbos. And there's no concern that he's doing beirer. This is brought in Shulchan Aruch. What's the reason? Because he holds alma. The reason is he holds kivin de mishtati hachi. Since the water could be, you could be drunk this way without the additional sifting, it's already clear wine and clear water that it's fit for drinking. Lav midikavid. Adding and sifting it more, it's not considered to be significant for the malacha of beirer that it would be aser. So Hachanami over here as well, with this roast that you would paste it with oil on Shabbos, kiven the mischel hachi, since it's eaten even without adding and pasting it with this oil, lav midikavid. It's not considered to be misaken that you're preparing it to be eaten, because it could be eaten without that as well. That's why Zeiri held it was allowed, like the Gemara said before. Now we go back to what we were speaking about before, beneged to different things of healing a person. Marokve said, a person that banged his hand or his feet, tzaimsa beyayin, so he wants to bring the swelling down, so you could reduce the swelling in wine, and it's not an issue. It's not considered to be using a refuah on Shabbos. Just using wine for this is not an issue. The question was asked, chala mai, if he's using vinegar, which is has a much stronger effect, it's sharper, what's the story then? Are you allowed? Amarav Hillel Ravashi kavina beirav kahana amri. He said, chala loy. If you're using vinegar, that's not allowed. Amarava, but Rava said, Vahani b'nei mechuzah, the people of mechuzah, even the mefanki, since they're very sensitive and their skin is softer and even the wine affects it in a strong way, afil chamre nami masilo, even wine will also heal them, and it's not allowed. Ravina ikla lebei Ravashi. Ravina was by Ravashi. Chazye de drichele chamra agaba dekare. He saw that a donkey stepped on the top of his foot. And v'yasiv katzamas lebechala, and he was sitting and he was trying to reduce the swelling with vinegar. Amalei, so he said to him, Avina said to him, Leisaval emal lahadam Rav Hillel. Do you not hold of what Rav Hillel said, chalaloi, that you shouldn't use vinegar to reduce the swelling on Shabbos? Amalei gav hayad v'gav haregel shani. The back of your hand and the back of your feet is different. Or the top of your feet. Here. What would this be called in English? The top of your hand. The top of your hand and the top of your feet is different. And then this is something which is a sakana, and for this you're allowed to do a refuah even on Shabbos. If you have an opening over here in this area, it's exposed and it can cause an infection, and you're allowed to try to heal this. You can put it even in vinegar, even on Shabbos. Ikadamri, others say, the same idea, but the version of the story happened a little bit differently. Chazye de katzamas lebechamre. Ravina saw Ravashi that it was trying to reduce the swelling through wine. Amalei leisaval amar lahad amar rave hani b'nei mechuzah. The people of mechuzah, which is where Ravashi was, even the mefanki, since they're sensitive, afil chamre nami masilo, that even the wine heals them. Omar nami hamifnak, even if you're not from mechuzah actually, but you're also a mefunik. He was also very sensitive, and therefore the wine shouldn't be allowed. Amalei, he answered him, Gava yad v'gava regel shani, and here the Gemara adds, the Omar of Ada bar Masna Omar Rav, Gava yad v'gava regel, the top of your hand or the top of your foot. Harehein kemakesh o cholol. We can treat it on Shabbos like a person that has something, ailment, an inner organ, that could be a sakana or machal and alenis a Shabbos, and you could be machal Shabbos. So this is the Gemara. We're going to have more sugis about this when we get to the halachas of being machal Shabbos for sakana. But here, Gemara is telling you that anytime there's any kind of a makkah that potentially could be a sakana, you're allowed to heal it on Shabbos. Tana Rabbanon, we learned in a Braisa.
Even if it's not a sakana at the moment.
Correct. Tana Rabbanon, we learned in a Braisa, Reichatzim, Bimei Grar, Bimei Chamsan, Bimei Asya. You're allowed to bathe on Shabbos in the waters of Grar, in the waters of Chamsan, the waters of Asya, Bimei Tverya, in the waters of Tverya, Avaloi B'Yam HaGadol, not in the Yam HaGadol. V'loi b'mei mishra, not in the waters that the flax is soaking in. V'loi b'yama shel Zdaim, and not in the water of Zdaim, which we learned already before, the salty waters of the Yam HaMelach. Frag the Gemara Veramino, I'll ask you a contradiction. It says, Reichtzim b'mei Tverya, a person could wash himself in the waters of, to bathe in the waters of Tverya, or b'Yam HaGadol, and the Yam HaGadol, but not in the waters that you soak flax in it, and that you can't wash on Shabbos. And not in the Yam of Zdaim. Right, so the question over here is whether what the person is doing, is it clear that he's doing it for refuah, or is he just doing it to cool himself off? If he's doing it to cool himself off, so then it's not a problem. But a person that's going into the mashal, this flax water, it's so dirty that the person would not go inside unless he's doing it for some healing purpose. So therefore it's not allowed. So the question is, Kashya Yam HaGadol Ayam HaGadol. We see here a contradiction regarding the Yam HaGadol. That in one place it says the Yam HaGadol is allowed, and in another place it says that the Yam HaGadol is not allowed. Okay, so the Gemara answers, it's not a question. We see that there's a machlokes about this. Omer Rab Yechanan, loy kashya. Ha Rab Meir, ha Rab Yehuda. We see that there's a machlokes between Rab Meir and Rab Yehuda, whether the Yam HaGadol is compared to all the other Yamim. We're talking about the Yam HaGadol here. When it says in the Gemara Yam HaGadol, it's talking about the oceans. Okay, usually, many times the Gemara, when it says Yam HaGadol, it's talking about the Mediterranean Sea, which is the name of the Mediterranean in Lashon Kodesh, Yam HaGadol. But here, Yam HaGadol talks about all oceans. So you have the oceans, and then you have other waters in the inland, not oceans. And so over here, we're talking specifically about Yam HaGadol. So the Gemara is going to bring over here machlokes between Rab Meir and Rab Yehuda, whether we compare the Yam HaGadol to all other inland waters. Now we learned in the Mishnah, this has been to get to mikveh. Kol hayamim kemikveh. All the yamim will have the halacha like a mikveh. Shenema, because in the pasuk when it talks about the mikveh, it says ulu mikveh. This isn't Bereshis. When the Eibusha creates the world, what does it say? Ulu mikveh hamayim kore yamim. And all the pools of water, the Eibusha calls yamim. So we see that the Torah is comparing the yama, all the yamim, all the oceans, the Atlantic, the Pacific, all the oceans, they're compared to a mikveh. Divrei Rab Meir. This is Rab Meir's opinion. Okay, so according to Rab Meir, he compares all the yamim to the Yam HaGadol. And therefore Rab Meir holds that when it says that you're allowed to wash, you're allowed to be reichitz in the Yam HaGadol, this goes according to Rab Meir that compares all the yamim and the Yam HaGadol, all the oceans are like all the yamim, and you're allowed to go into cold water on Shabbos. It doesn't look like you're doing it for a healing purpose. It's Rab Meir's opinion. Now, there's enough gemina for this. And Rashi over here, it's not really some negay to the pshar of the Gemara, but Rashi over here brings the arichas. There's a specific halacha about a mikveh. The halacha about a mikveh is the water has to be in one place. It can't be flowing water, right? And that's the chiddush over here about this yam, that we're comparing the yam to a mikveh, that if you tovel in a yam, it has to be water that's contained in one place and not flowing. That's Rab Meir. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Yam HaGadol kemikveh. Rabbi Yehuda says the Yam HaGadol is like the mikveh, but v'loinema yamim. But this doesn't refer to all yamim. El sheyesh boi, and the only reason, again, v'loinema yamim. The only reason it says in the pasuk in Bereshis the word yamim, el sheyesh boi mine yamim harbe. There's waters in it from a lot of yamim. Okay, that's the only reason it uses the term yamim over here. But really, all the yamim are not like the Yam HaGadol. Basically, what Rabbi Yehuda is saying is, there's a chilek between Yam HaGadol, which refers to oceans, and to other waters that are in the inland, lakes, large lakes, whatever it is, they're not the same thing. Okay, so he makes a chilek between the Yam HaGadol and everything else. So what the Gemara is saying over here, as Rashi explains, according to Rabbi Yehuda, that makes the difference between the Yam HaGadol and all other waters, the Yam HaGadol is unique, it's different, and that's something that a person doesn't usually wash in, and therefore on Shabbos, if you're going and washing in the ocean, so that could look like you're doing it for healing, and you're not allowed to do it on Shabbos. Third opinion over here, Rabbi Yosi Oime, Kol hayamim mitarim b'zeichlin. All yamim, no difference whatsoever. Any yamim, you go into it to be tovel for a mikveh, it's mitarim b'zeichlin. Even if the water is flowing and it's not contained in one area, you can be mitayr in it. He doesn't agree with not Rabbi Yehuda, not Rabbi Meir, that there's some cases where it has to be in one place. Upsulin lezavim, and it can't be used for a zav. This is not a mikveh that's good for a zav, or lemitziroim, or lekadosh b'meichatos. In these three cases, you have to have a mayon, you have to have a wellspring, or you have to have mayim chayim, and none of the yam, they don't qualify for any of these. Okay, that's the answer to the Gemara. So we see over here, Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda were arguing about the status of Yam HaGadol, and the Gemara applies it to our case regarding washing and bathing on Shabbos. Fragt the Gemara, Maskav Lord of Nachman by Yitzchak, Eime de Pligi. When were they arguing? Linyan Tumah V'Tara. Their argument was based on a pasuk regarding the status of the Yam HaGadol, how you touch the pasuk in Bereshis, and how we compare that to the halacha of a mikveh by Tumah and Tara. Linyan Shabbos. Mi shamatlu, regarding Shabbos, where the issue over here is whether it looks like the person is healing himself or not, do we see any indication that their machlokes is relevant for this question? How is there any connection here? So the Gemara rejects this comparison of their machlokes regarding a mikveh to the machlokes on Shabbos over here, the two braises that we have regarding Shabbos. Elam Rav Nachman by Yitzchak. Rav Nachman by Yitzchak says, like Kashya, we could answer this differently. Ha the ishtoi, ha the loy ishtoi. It depends if the person lingers in the water, he's staying there, so then it's not allowed. Because then it looks like he's trying to heal himself in the water. But if loy ishtoi, if he doesn't stay there, so then he just goes in, he bathes himself and goes right out, he's just trying to cool himself off, it's not a problem. The Gemara doesn't accept this answer either. What are you saying? The second braisa we just said over here, that the person is allowed to go into Yam HaGadol. The lo yishtoi, because he's not lingering in the water. The lo yishtoi. If the person is not lingering in the water, then afilu b'mei mishra nami. It should be allowed to go into this water that the flax is soaked in as well, because he's just going in and out. It doesn't look like he's doing it for healing.
What's the thing about the flax soaking?
I'm not sure what the healing purpose would be, but apparently there could be some healing in this. So the question is, if he's just going in and out, that should be allowed as well. The Hatanya, and we learned in a braisa, reichtzim b'mei Tverye, b'mei Mishra, b'yam shlostaim, you can wash in these waters. Afal pisha yeshle chatotin b'roishe, a person has chatotin. What's the exact translation of chatotin? He has some kind of he has wounds, some kinds of wounds on his head, and he's allowed to go into the water for this on Shabbos, even though it looks like he's doing it for healing. If the person is not lingering there, but if he's lingering there, then it's forbidden. So you can't tell me we're talking over about a person that's not lingering in the water, because then it shouldn't have said that in the flax water it's forbidden. The Gemara gives a third answer. Yam HaGadol, Ayam HaGadol, Ekasha. The contradiction we had regarding a person bathing himself in the Yam HaGadol is not a question. Ha b'yafin shabai and ha b'roim shabai. There's certain areas in the Yam HaGadol that's clean and nice water over there. If a person goes into that on Shabbos, it doesn't look like he's doing it for healing. It's just cooling himself off. If a person goes into the place in the water where it's not geschmacka water to go into, and he still goes into it on Shabbos, over there, he's doing it for refuah. Otherwise, why is he going into it? Right? And in both cases over here, is talking about the person lingering in the water. The chiluk is, though, if it's good waters or not good quality waters. Now the Gemara says, Mei Mishre, Amei Mishre, Nami Lekasha. This is basically what the Gemara already said before. The contradiction that there is over here, that in one place it says you can go into this water where the soak is, where the flax is soaked. In one place it says you're not allowed to. As we said before, if a person is going to stay inside, so then that is not allowed. If you're not staying inside for a long period, so then it's allowed. Zok the Gemara weiter. We continue. The next Mishnah and the next Gemara also continues talking about different healing things. Sagt the Mishnah, ein oichlin izvion b'Shabbos. You're not allowed to eat izvion on Shabbos because it's for healing. The Gemara will say what it is, izvion. Okay. And here the Mishnah gives us the klal that I spoke about before. Any food that normal healthy people don't usually eat, If you're eating on a Shabbos, it's clear that it's just for healing and it's not allowed. Aval oichelu es yoyezer. You can eat yoyezer, which many healthy people eat. V'shoyse abuvrua, and you could drink abuvrua, because also this is something that healthy people drink. The Gemara is going to talk about what yoyezer is, what abuvrua is. A person can eat any foods, even though it heals him as well, and he could drink anything, even though it heals him. Chutz mimei de kolim, the water that comes from palm trees, the kais ikrin, and kais ikrin, which is a kais that you make from roots, that I guess you grind and make from the roots. Mipnei shehein liyeruka, because this is beneficial for jaundice. Avoshaisuhu made the column with simai. You're allowed a person, and here Rashi explains the Gemara here when it says avoshaisa is talking about a person that's healthy. He's not sick b'chlal. He's healthy and he's just thirsty. So shaisu made the column with simai, even though the Gemara just said that made the column is something which is a healing. It is a healing thing. But if you're totally healthy and you're just drinking it because you're thirsty, you're allowed. V'sach shemen ikrin shaloi l'refuah. And this shemen ikrin, similar to what we were speaking about before, which is a kais ikrin, it's a shemen, it's an oil made from herbs or from roots. You're allowed to use it if you're totally healthy and you're not using it for any purpose of refuah. Zog the Gemara, Amar Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef said, Ezov, what is Ezov? So the Gemara here says Abrata bar Hamak. The name is Abrata bar Hamak. Okay, what's the English word for it?
Aisop of Hamag.
Okay, Aisop of Hamak. Ezvian. Now the Mishnah didn't say Ezov. The Mishnah said Ezvian Abrata bar Hinik. It's Abrata bar Hinik, a different kind of thing. Ula Omar. Ula says Marva Chivra, that it's a white sage. Ula ikla lebei Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda. Ula was by Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda. Aisa lekamei marva chivre. They brought in front of him this white sage. Omar, he said, Hainu. Yeah. Omar, he says, Hainu Ezov. This is the Ezov, the Chsiv by Raisa, that the pasuk speaks about, the Ezov that's used over there by the Mitzayra. Yeah. Rav Papi Omar Shumshuk. Rav Papi says no, the Ezov is not this white sage. The Ezov is Shumshuk. Om Rab Yirmiyah Medifte Kavase that Rav Papi Mistavra. It's sad that what Rav Papi said, that it's the Shumshuk, makes more sense. The Tanan, because we learned regarding the Ezov, Mitzvah's Ezov, the mitzvah of the Ezov is Shloisha Klochin, 3 stalks or 3 stems, and Ubehen Shloisha Gevailin, and it has 3 what? Capsules that come out of it. V'shumshuku, the mishtak chachi, and the shumshuk has this nature. That's how it grows. And therefore it makes sense that he's right, that the shumshuk is the Ezov of the Torah. Lamai achlile, for what is this eaten? This shumshuk? L'kuk yaini, for intestinal worms. B'mai achlile, with what do you eat it? To heal yourself. B'sheva tamri uchmese, with 7 dark dates. Mimai havya. Now the Gemara asks, from what do these intestinal worms come? Mikimche desari, when a person eats flour from barley, the cholaf aleh barn yomin, that are 40 days old. The next thing we learned in the Mishnah, aval oichelu es yoyezer. A person is allowed to eat yoyezer. Ma yoyezer. What is yoyezer? Pusnik. Yoyezer is pusnik, which is what? Penny royal, yeah.
Full herbs.
Okay. Lamai achlile, and what is this eaten for? What is this healing for? La'arkese, for worms in the liver. Lamai achlila, and what do you eat this with to heal yourself? B'sheva tamri chivrese, with 7 white dates. Mimai have, from what do these worms in the liver come from? Mi'umtze, from eating raw meat. Umaya alibe reikana, and drinking water on an empty heart. Empty, when you wake up in the morning drinking water, Empty stomach, okay. Umi bisra shmeina alibe reikana, and eating fat meat on an empty stomach. Umi bisra detura alibe reikana, and eating ox meat on an empty stomach. Me'am guza alibe reikana, eating nuts on an empty stomach. Umi giri derubye alibe reikana. And from giri rubya, which is the shoots that come out of from some kind of a plant on an empty stomach. Umishti maya basrayo, and you drink water after that. So this is what it helps for the worms in the liver. V'iloi, if you don't have this, if you don't have this available to heal yourself with it, live la tachli chivarta. He should swallow tachli chivarta. What's the tachli again? White cress. Okay. V'iloi, and if he doesn't have this available, leisav betanisa, he should sit and he should fast. V'leisi bisra shmeina, and he should bring fat meat. V'lishti agumre, put it on the coals, fry it or whatever, roast it on the coals. V'leimetz garma, and he should suck the meat. He should suck the bones. V'ligma chola, and he should also swallow beer. I meant vinegar, yeah. V'iked amri, and others say chalaloi. No, don't add that vinegar. Mishum de kashi l'chveida, because it's not good for the liver. V'iloi, if he doesn't have this available, laisi gurda da asinta, he should bring gurda da asinta. It's a bush that the bark of the bush that you peeled it. But the gride me'iloi letatoi, it had to have been peeled going from up down. V'loi metatoi le'iloi, and not that it was peeled going from the bottom up. Why? Dilme nafki aidi pumi. Dilme nafka aidi pumi, because if you peeled it from down up and you eat this, so it'll cause the same effect in you. So the intestinal worms will come out, or the liver worms that we're talking about over here will come out from your mouth. And then what do? V'lishleke, and you take this bark from a bush and you cook it b'shichra bei shivivi. You cook it in beer at the time of bein hashmashas. And the next day, he should stuff his nose, v'lishti, and he should drink it. V'chimafni, and then when he relieves himself, mavni apishcha dedikle, he should relieve himself by this tree that he peeled the bark off of it. Okay, we learned already before in the Gemara. I mentioned that all of these things are not relevant and working today, and the Rebbe says that the famous shalom that says HaTorah medaberes b'al yonim v'reimezes b'tachteinim, that the Torah speaks in spiritual worlds, and it's only hinting here below. It applies to this Gemara. This is all beruchnius. Okay, the next thing it said in the Mishnah, v'shoisen abuvrua. My abuvrua. What is abuvrua? And for the Gemara, you don't know what that is. Chum teraya. My chum teraya. So what's chum teraya? Chutre yichidaya. It's a tree that grows like one stick, like without any branches on it, and they use it somehow to make a drink out of it. L'mayavdila, what is it beneficial for? Ligiluya, a person that drinks water that was exposed overnight, and in those times there was the concern that a snake drank from it. So if you drank from this water, so this abuvrua or chumteraya was beneficial. V'iloi, if you don't have this available, leisi chamsha klili, bring 5 roses, v'chamsha kusta de shikra, and 5 cups of beer, v'nishlokinu ba'ad adadi, and cook it, ad kaima anfika, until you get the amount of an anfik. It's a certain amount. And v'nishti, and you drink it. Ima de Rav Achtabai bar Ami, the mother of Rav Achtabai bar Ami, of the Leila who gavra, she prepared for a person chat klila, 1 rose, v'chat kusta de shichra, with 1 cup of beer, sholka, she cooked it, v'ishkise, she gave it to drink to him, and then v'shogra tanura, she heated up the oven. And then v'garafte, she shoveled out the oven. V'isvise levente begavei, she put down a brick in the oven for a place for him to sit over there. V'nafak kohutze yarke, and the poison that was inside of him, because he drank from exposed water overnight, came out of him like kohutze yarke, like a green leaf. It just came straight out of him. Rav Avia says, Reviasa the chalba meiza, a revias of goat milk chivarta. From a white goat, yeah, will be beneficial for this. You have to have the milk from a white goat. Havuna bar Yehuda Amar, Leisi esroige chalisa, you should bring a sweet esrig, v'lechaike, and carve it out, v'limle dufshe, fill it with honey, v'loisve be milali denura, and put it in the coals of an oven, v'lichle, and eat it. That will help for this water that you drank, that was exposed. Rav Chanina Amar, Rav Chanina says, and we had this before in the Gemara, meiraglayim b'nei arbarim yoim, urine that's 40 days old. Barzina, now what is barzina beneficial for? Barzina, Rashi says, is actually a size of a very small kais.
132 over log.
Okay, a very tiny cup. Lizibura. That small, tiny amount is beneficial. Lizibura, which is what again? For a wasp, for a wasp bite. Okay. Revia, a revius la'akrava, a bite from a scorpion. Palga revia, a half a revius legiluya, for drinking this water that was exposed. Riva, a revius of this, a fill l'kshafim milo. Even for kishuv, for the power to get rid of the powers of kishuv is also good. Amar Rabbi Yechanan said,
For drinking.
Yeah. Anigrin Avniger v'tiraikia, these three different things. This is waters that was cooked with these different grasses, Rashi says. Min Asef, so all kinds of grasses, okay. Malu, they're good. Bein legiluya, they're beneficial whether a person drank exposed water. Bein l'chshafim, whether to get rid of kishif. Haiman de balachivya, a person that swallowed a snake. Loichle kishusa b'milcha, he should eat kishusa, hops, which we had before also, in salted, v'lirate tlasamili, and he should run 3 miles. Okay, his body will heat up and it'll help get rid of this, help the snake die and come out. Rav Shimi Barashi Chaziela Hogavre the Balachivyer, he saw a person that swallowed a snake. Idmile Kiprosha, so he came and appeared to this person as like a soldier. As Rashi here says, he wanted to come and come with strong and say his opinion that he should scare him, he should listen to him. Oichle Keshusa b'milcha, he gave him these hops, these salted hops to drink or to eat. Ve'arate kamei tlasamili, and he made him run for 3 miles. V'navik minei guvi, and the snake that he swallowed came out dead in pieces. Iked Amri, others say, Rav Shimi Barashi, this happened to Rav Shimi Barashi himself. Bala Chivya, he himself swallowed a snake. Asa Eliyahu idmulei kiprosha. Eliyahu Hanavi came to save him and appeared to him like a soldier. Oichle keshusa b'milcha, and he gave him to eat this hops that are salted. Va'arate kamet lasamili, and he made him run for 3 miles. V'nafik minei guvi, and it came out in pieces. Okay, one more piece. Haiman de tarke chivya, person that a snake bit him. Laisi ubre de chamre chivarte, he should bring the embryo of a white donkey. Velikre, and should tear it open. Veloisve ilave, and he should put it on himself. And for vahani mili, when is this going to work? The loy ishtakach treife. If this donkey was not found to be a treife. I want to bring a story about this. Okay, we'll see tomorrow. Mitzvah Shem, the continuation.
How do we know these things don't work?
Okay.